The ultimate silent treatment is covert narcissism, because you're being secretly mistreated and you're also emotionally being blackmailed to keep their secret. Covert narcissism, I've heard it said, can be one of the worst types of pathological narcissism there tends to be, which I can kind of see that. And from personal experience, I can tell you, when you suffer in silence, it's a very vicious cycle, because you want to tell, but at the same time, the person who is mistreating you, you don't want to harm them, you don't want to hurt them, but they're bringing you harm. It's a very vicious cycle. Covert narcissism can be a very vicious cycle in and of itself. You know, a lot of narcissists and some cluster personality types, they like to keep that vicious cycle of narcissistic abuse going, which is idealization, devaluation, and discard. But within all of that, there's another wheel that's turning, and that is covert narcissism. Because when you are suffering in silence, that's a clear indication, well, really to you, from people who are on the outside looking in. It may not be as apparent, but it begins to become apparent to you that you're suffering in silence because you are emotionally being blackmailed to keep the covert narcissist dark and dirty secret that they are mistreating you. Hi stars, I'm Luminousz Ztarr. Welcome to the channel. Mwah! Thank you guys and gals so much for joining me today or tonight, and I certainly hope that you are taking care of yourself. Please mind that description box below for further details to today's video, and please like and or share today's video. I want to thank everyone in advance for his or her time. Highly intuitive, empathic individuals can sometimes get caught up in narcissistic codependent relationships. Okay, so sometimes when we are having these types of relationships, it is very easy to overlook how we can become addicted to those types of relationships. Okay, because we're dealing with two dynamics. We're dealing with codependency, and we're also dealing with narcissism. Codependency, like narcissism, can become a habit. Why? Because it can be very addictive. A lot of us become addicted, if not obsessed, to narcissistic codependent relationships. Some narcissists and cluster B personality types, they may move on to new supply. So we may end up looking at their Facebook page. We may end up trying to catch up with them on social media. We may be keeping up with their social media, but it can become very addictive. Not only addictive, but it can be very obsessive. Okay, this can be shown to be obsessive behavior. Now, I'm not saying that you are a person who has an obsessive personality. Being involved with people who have a cluster B personality type, such as a histrionic, those who have a borderline personality, those who have antisocial personality, as well as a narcissistic personality. You know, just choose any one of those. But whenever you are involved with someone romantically who has such a personality, sometimes you can start to show signs of being not only obsessed, but one who is addicted to the relationship. Let's just face it, a lot of us, when we start to become involved with people, we usually have the best of intentions, okay? But before you know it, you can end up getting caught up with the drama. You can end up getting caught up in their poor choices. You can end up getting caught up in the crossfire. You know, sometimes they may tend to be very explosive. Okay, but usually when you are very emotional, they tend to exploit your capacity to express emotions, anywhere from sadness to anger, even pain. There are some cluster B personality types who see this as an opportunity to obtain narcissism. There are some cluster B personality types who will use that time as an opportunity to obtain narcissistic supply, because they may see your being emotional as a sign of weakness. Okay, some cluster B personality types tend to have an air of one who is parasitic and who is predatory in nature. Okay, so there's a word that I made up. I shared this word in a few of my videos, and it is that of a parasite. So you take a parasite and you take a predator and you put them together, and what do you get? A parasite. Okay, so okay, I made that up. Narcissists and some cluster B personality types, their mask begins to slip off, but when it does, there are a few signs to look for. Sign number 1, a loss of respect. Sign number 2, a loss of income. Sign number 3, he or she may all of a sudden show signs of being depressed more than usual. Okay, you know, like they say, you can fool some of the people some of the time, but you can't fool all of the people all of the time. So when a narcissist mask begins to slip off, again, they may show a sign of losing respect. Other people have found them out. So other people are not drinking the Kool-Aid anymore. They're not going for the okie doke anymore. All right, so some narcissists and some cluster personality types, when that mask slips off, there are a few things that you will see and they will realize they have lost. There are many narcissists and some cluster B personality types. Over and over again, they will miss opportunities of learning valuable lessons. When we have relationships with other people, the main purpose, well, to me, in having relationships with him or her is to grow with him or her. Okay? If relationships are seemingly stopping you from getting to the next level, from growing spiritually, financially, emotionally, mentally, I think you all get the picture, then it's time to start reevaluating where you are in your life, and this includes your relationships with cluster B personality type. There are some cluster B personality types, such as narcissists, who often will, well, they will show themselves to be great shape shifters. What am I saying? They will start making excuses. Okay? He or she will lack the foresight of learning valuable lessons or learning from their mistakes. Okay? They will often miss the opportunity to have meaningful relationships with other people. Another sign of a narcissist being a shapeshifter is when he or she tends to blame everyone else for the things that they have done, okay, for the things that they have chosen or the poor choices they have made, as well as their mistakes. They rarely admit to any mistakes. Okay, another way of being a shapeshifter is a person who is like a chameleon. They can switch up. They have one mask on 1 second, and then they switch up, they take that mask off and they put on another mask. This is another way of saying that there are many narcissists and some cluster B personality types who have several false self-images, from being a martyr to a saint to a victim who cannot seem to catch a break in life. There are many male covert narcissists who tend to misrepresent and actually misuse their masculinity. Okay, sometimes they tend to misrepresent and misuse their manhood as well as their fatherhood. Sometimes they lack integrity. Sometimes they lack foresight. Okay, sometimes they lack honesty. But the bottom line is this: when we're looking at the fruit of buckery, but I think you all get the picture. This is when you can find out if he or she is of the club, the karmic club. That means everything is coming back. Everything they have said, everything they have done to try to gain narcissistic, narcissistic supply. That's what I meant to say. Okay, brain fart. Narcissistic supply from other people. Everything is coming back to them now. Like they say, you reap what you sow. So narcissists and cluster B personality types, for a while, they may seem to get away with it all. But there's such of a thing called the club, the karmic club. So this is how you can find out if your narcissist or cluster B personality type is of the karmic club. Just take a look at how they may be unraveling right now. And this is not to put anybody down. This is not to demonize anyone. It's simply to point out how some of us who are highly intuitive, empathic, and we're getting caught up in all of these narcissistic codependent relationships, how sometimes, when we get caught up, it's not easy to see how our narcissist or cluster B personality type may become a member of karmic club. There are female covert narcissists, just like the male narcissist, who may misuse or misrepresent her womanhood, her femininity, okay, as well as her motherhood. But, whichever one, or you can pick them all. If she's misrepresenting and she is misusing those three aspects of herself, then it's not going to be too long before the mask slips off if she is a cluster B personality type. There are some cluster B personality types right now who are avoiding wise counsel or counsel, period. Right now, there are narcissists and cluster B personality types who are being extended to olive branch